After I wipe all of the moisturizer, any type of oil around my brows, I go in with my white paste. I like to use an angled eyebrow brush like this. This one is from Morphe. It's the Morphe M165 angled eyebrow brush. So I take that and I go into the white paste. I use the white paste as a guide whenever I'm outlining my brows before I put on the henna dye, so that I'm not going outside of those lines and I'm creating a very nice eyebrow shape. Whenever I'm outlining the top of my eyebrows, I normally start the line further back, so I don't necessarily start the line where my eyebrow hairs are going straight up. So whenever you're applying the white paste, you just want to make sure you're not applying it to your eyebrows, or if you are applying it to your eyebrows, just make sure it's like the stray hairs. If your eyebrows are not groomed, my eyebrows are not groomed, they're not threaded, they're not waxed. So it's another reason why I kind of like to use the white paste as a guide. I also like to use it to conceal the stray hairs that I don't want the henna dye to get on. As y'all can see, I really don't have that much of a tail area, so that's why I have so much skin showing here. But once I apply that henna dye, I'm gonna have me a full blown tail. Before I apply the dye on my eyebrows, I just look in the mirror to make sure they are as even as they're gonna get. And once I'm satisfied with the shape that I created, then I go in with the henna dye. And how I make the henna dye paste, I just take some of the henna brow powder, I put a little bit into my mini bowl, then I add droplets of water until the paste looks a little thicker than a runny paste. I don't want to say the paste is like, I'll show you guys pictures. I'm sure you guys can kind of see how the paste looks, but it's not super runny, but it's also not really thick. So I just wipe off that eyebrow brush that I used in the very beginning to apply the white paste, and I go in and apply the henna dye. I like to start on my tails first and then work my way to the front. And when I get to the front, I just apply the henna brow dye going upwards. I also want to mention that the white paste is completely optional. It's not something that you have to have whenever you do dye your brows. It does help a lot as far as being a guide to create the shape you want. Whenever I'm doing this process, I don't always use the white paste actually. I normally just apply the henna to my brows and I clean them up with some cotton swabs. So when I'm done filling them in, I like to use these micro cotton swabs to just clean up the shape of my eyebrows a little more, because I did get some of the brow dye on top of the white outline and I just don't want it to stain my skin. These cotton swabs also help me clean up the shape of my brows without messing them up. You guys can kind of see how squiggly underneath my brows look, so I always take my cotton swab to clean them up. I also use these cotton swabs to make my brows skinnier. If I feel like I made them too thick or bulky looking, I can just go in with one of these cotton swabs and clean them up. I bought these cotton swabs on Amazon and I think it came with like 500 of them and they were under $10, you guys. They are very cheap, very convenient. I don't know if I mentioned the henna dye shade that I'm using. I'm using the shade dark brown and you guys saw how my brows turned out in the beginning of this video. If you want your brows to look darker, you can mix dark brown and the shade black and that will make your brows darker. It'll also make your brows last longer. This is how the henna looks right now. It's getting really dark. So I'm gonna leave it on for 30 minutes and I'll show you guys how it looks when I am taking it off. I have 7 minutes left until I remove all of the henna, but I'm gonna go in with my micro cotton swabs and I'm gonna remove the henna in the front so that the front of my eyebrows just don't look so boxy and harsh. It's been 30 minutes, so I'm just taking my cotton rounds that are drenched with water, and I'm going to start wiping off the henna. I'm just taking a dry paper towel now to wipe it off, all the extra. But you guys see that? Okay. So that's one. I have a whole tail now, you guys. I have a whole tail. When the henna dries, it is very hard. So you really have to just make sure your cotton round is soaked with a good amount of water to where it breaks down the henna dye. So here is a close-up of my brows. And my brows were not groomed before I did the henna process. They definitely will look better if you get your eyebrows waxed or threaded, but I think they look pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. But these are my brows. I didn't want them super dark. The henna brow dye normally lasts on me for almost 2 weeks, not quite. I do still wash my whole face. You're supposed to wash around your eyebrows when you have henna brow dye on them, but I do wash my eyebrows, just my whole face. I am gonna go in with concealer to clean them up some more. Here is a close-up of my brows. Shape is on point, color is on point. They look really good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do my lashes. So the lashes I'm gonna be using are the Windy lashes. I got these off of Amazon. They're the individual cluster lashes. I'm also gonna be using the B&Q cluster lashes. I bought these lash clusters because the shortest length in this container is 8 and the shortest length in the Windy lashes is 12. So I'm gonna use the 8s and the 10s from the other lash container for my inner corners. I'm gonna use these lashes for the rest of my eye. I am doing the cat eye style, so that's gonna be the longer lashes on the outer corner and the shorter ones on the inner corner. I also have these tweezers to put on the lashes and also pick the lashes out of the container. And then the glue I'm using is the Bond and Seal glue. The bond side is what you apply to your lashes first, and then you apply your lash clusters, and then you go in with the lash seal to help them last as long as possible. So first I am coating my lashes with the lash bond, making sure I get every lash, especially the 2 lashes that I have on my outer corners. I really don't have a lot of lashes on my outer corners, y'all, and it's really sad, but hey. But after I coat my lashes with that, I go into my lash tray and I just take one of the lash clusters. How I like to peel it off of the little strip of glue that it's on is get really close to the root of the lash cluster, pull it in an upward direction, gently, slowly pull it in an upward direction, and I put it back down on the lash tray and reposition it to where it feels comfortable for me to apply it onto my lashes, my natural lashes. The longest lash cluster I'll be using today is 13, so I always start off in my outer corners and I just place the first lash cluster underneath my natural lashes. I always have a hard time putting the first lash cluster on my natural lashes, the outer corners, because I don't have that many lashes. So If I can't get it with the tweezers, I just take my finger and apply it that way. And when I'm applying these lash clusters, I lift up my eyelid, and I also have a mirror underneath me to see exactly where I need to place each lash cluster. I do want to mention, try not to put these on your waterline. I do make sure I put it very close to the root of my natural lashes, but also I'm making sure it's not touching my skin. I have put these on my skin before, and they really do irritate my eyes and they make them itch. Just try not to put them on your waterline. Every time I apply my lash cluster, I turn to the side to make sure that the cluster is not showing. So I do make sure I put the lash cluster as close to the root of my lashes as possible, but it's never touching my skin. And then I'll use my thumb and my index finger to pinch the lashes together and also push them into my natural lashes. The lengths that I use to create this cat eye are 13s. I use 2 13s, 2 12s, 2 10s and an 8 on one eye, and then on the other eye I use 2 13s, 2 12s, a 10 and an 8. This lash process only takes me 15 minutes, if that. It is super easy. I want to say both lash styles are D curl and C curl. I do like how dark these lashes are and how much they curl up. And this glue that I'm using, you guys, it does not burn my eyes. Oh my goodness. When I used to get lash extensions, my eyes used to be so red. It didn't matter how tight I closed my eyes, those fumes were getting in my eyes. But I do not have to worry when it comes to these lashes. I also want to mention, you don't want to get too close to your inner corners when you're applying these lashes, because they're going to start to irritate your eyes and your eyes will begin to water. So if you blink and you can feel the lash cluster in the corners of your eyes, you might want to take it off and just cut it in half, or just not place that lash cluster in that area. Here's a quick recap of what I did. I added my lash bond seal to my natural lashes first. Then I go into my lash tray and I grab a lash cluster. I use my tweezers to apply it to my natural lashes. If they're not secure enough, I go back in with my fingers and I push the lash into my natural lashes to make them more secure. And I do that throughout my whole eye. I also wanted to share with you guys this clip because this was actually my original clip for this video, and I ended up having to refilm the part of me applying my lashes because I felt like you guys couldn't really see what I was doing. So if you guys are wondering why my eyebrows look a little different, it's because my eyebrows weren't tinted in the last clip. I just feel more comfortable now that you guys know, because it was bothering me. These are how the lashes turned out. They look just like lash extensions. I love them. I always get so many compliments on them, and it just gives me that confirmation that I did a good job. But I wanted to share this with you guys because I've been really into the natural looks lately. So I just been doing my brows, you know, a little bit of mascara or lashes like this, and you know, a little bit of face makeup, just something that just enhances my natural beauty. Everything I used in today's video will be listed down below. I really do enjoy reading y'all's comments and talking to you guys, so feel free to leave comments down below, you know, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, you guys.